welcome to, well, I guess it's just a Friday night jam session. I don't even know what to call it anymore. So here we are. Oh, there's the man, AZDZ
Just in the
Adventures.
nick of time.
Speaking of Devin, so tonight we're going to talk about um, protective gear.
Why are we talking about protective gear, Devin?
Because of Devin.
Actually, both he is.
Yeah, I had a little screwball accident too. So, all right. So if you guys, as you may know or not know, um, I had a motorcycle wreck about 3 weeks ago, and not to be outdone, Devin tried to have one too. So, in both of our cases, I'm going to say protective gear probably saved us. But we're going to talk about the protective gear we had on, and then we're going to talk about what happened to the gear. Then we're going to compare having gear on to not having gear on. So I don't have any gross slides to show you, but we will show you the gear that we were wearing and what it did to that gear. So, without further ado, let's introduce the panel tonight. Everyone, welcome the Loose Juice
Howdy.
and the
That's all I got.
DZ side of the AZDZ Adventures.
I can only hear music.
Okay,
I could only hear music. I couldn't hear a word you were saying.
I have no music.
There should be no more music.
It just barely finished.
Oh, you probably got the YouTube open.
You must
still.
be watching
No.
YouTube.
Nope, YouTube's not open.
I have no music playing.
I don't hear any music. I mean,
Yeah,
normally I
your
hear a lot
intro
of
song
things.
just
in my head,
literally
but
ended. So
I have no music playing.
yeah.
let's leave it up to chat. Chat, is there any music playing still?
Well, it just stopped, like I said. So
Okay, well, there we are.
It's so strange.
All right, so first we're going to talk about what happened. We're on a very small level. We're going to talk about what happened in my accident. So was out, and in the 15-mile journey to work, there was a stretch about 40 feet long that was just ice, and I managed to catch that 40-foot strip. And I went down. If anybody saw the video, the bike slammed down on me, slammed down on my foot, slammed down the rest of my body, and drug me a little ways. It basically just drug across the top of my leg. Luckily, I had on the protective pants. I had on riding pants with the CE armor in it. I had jeans plus a underlayer under that, and my jacket and gloves and a helmet. So I didn't notice till I got home. Actually, I didn't notice the next day, but my boot that I was wearing, I don't know if you can see this, but that's what happened to the bike side of
that's
that boot.
Yeah, I would say I don't. What are you talking about? I don't see. That little thing.
Yeah,
And,
okay.
and this was the side that was dragged across after I left the ice. It was dragging across the asphalt.
Oh.
So I don't know. And then it was, of course, the whole boot was kind of crushed down. I don't know if you can tell. It's a little sideways, a little lopsided. But I don't know if you can tell that from there. But the good thing about good gear is if you have a wreck in good gear, you barely notice what happens at all.
Yeah.
Until later. What's that thing you got there, Slim Jim? Lefty?
Good old sling because no, I'm a left. I have to be a lefty now. So fractured I got a radial head fracture on my elbow.
So behind you, I can see what used to be a cranial protection device. You want to show us that?
Yeah. Well, here I got my left boot, which yours looks brand new compared to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one got blown out.
Yeah. That was the left boot.
Gravel is not your friend.
No, like
Yeah.
watch out. God bless.
So yeah,
God bless.
for those that don't know, when me and Annette went out riding on Wednesday night, we rode to dinner real quick because it was in the 50s, and yeah, take your chances while you can. Well, on the way back home, I hit some like silky gravel. She said it looked like, and bike went the death wobble, and I couldn't recover. So
Damn.
that like I knew the bike went into death wobble. The next thing I know, my face was just dragging across the asphalt. Which
That asphalt.
Happens in a flash.
It happens quick. what's that old commercial? Life happens in a second.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
that would have been my face if I wasn't wearing this.
Yeah, I noticed you still have a nice cheery peachy complexion.
Yeah.
So thank God for the helmet.
Yeah, because that was the only other scrape on this whole helmet besides the face.
Yeah, that would have been face first.
Yeah. Oh no, I literally saw the asphalt going past me on the ground. It is not a fun time.
No.
But yeah.
So yeah, luckily you're okay, you're better. But we're going to talk about tonight. Now you live in a state that does not have a helmet law.
Correct.
Because we see a lot of other people in Ohio who do not wear helmets.
We have a partial helmet law. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, like for most states, you got to be at least 18, right?
Yeah, under 18, and as long as you're a rookie, which is your first year of riding, or if you have your temps.
But that's still basically, to the average rider, you don't fit either one of those bills. So in the freedom, God bless America world, you should not have had a helmet on.
Yeah, well, I started riding in a helmet state, and it makes everybody in my family feel safer.
And it also makes it easier to ride when it's cold out. So those people that are like, "Oh, I love freedom," well, nothing more freeing than being able to ride when it's in the 40s and 50s out. Like, freeze your.
Yeah, because when you're going 60, it's still 20, 30 degrees.
Oh look, we have a special guest in the chat tonight. Shay Lacey has joined our little.
Shay, welcome aboard.
Really?
Little.
Speaking of speaking of safety gear, Shay Lacey, I can't imagine some of these wrecks in just our little group that people have had, and some have had accidents with helmets, some have had them without helmets, but some of these accidents would have taken a life.
Yeah, I probably would have, in all honesty.
Yeah, I used to when I lived in Arkansas. Arkansas is not a helmet state, and I did not wear a helmet. I was one of them freedom-loving America, give me some wind in my teeth and bugs in my throat type guys. And I went out one day and it was raining, so just because it was raining, and the only reason it was raining, I wore a helmet to keep the rain out of my face because I didn't want not like rain in my nose and in my eyes. And truck pulled out in front of me, and I T-boned a truck going about 40 miles an hour, which doesn't seem very fast, but I cracked the helmet. It threw me over the top of it, and I actually.
Oh, you still have it? I was kind of curious.
No. The helmet got sent to Fulmer, but this is the jacket I had. It was a construction truck, and again, this doesn't do a whole lot of favor, but I'm going to try to show you this. This is what sliding across asphalt does to a double thick leather jacket.
Yeah, I got my textile one back there too.
And when I got to the hospital, it has 2 broken ribs, a separated shoulder, and a concussion. But they kept looking at my helmet, and they were passing around the ER. I was like, "Where's my helmet? Where's my helmet?" And they're like, "Oh, they got it up at the nurse's station." When they brought it in, it was cracked, it was smashed, it had diamond plate embedded in the helmet. And when the doctor came in, he's like, "You should be dead." I'm like, "Well, helmets, blah, 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 whatever."
Like, rad.
He's like, "You should be dead."
Cool.
Well, then so it was a Fulmer helmet, I was living literally an hour from Memphis. And when I called them, I said, "Hey, just want you guys to know if you ever need, some testimonial, I'm your guy. Your helmet saved my life." Well, his niece was working there answering phones that day, and she said, "Send me the helmet. We'll send you a brand new helmet. We'll do testing on it. We'll do some compression testing." My helmet took 1,200 pounds of force. And I was only going 40 miles an hour. But the helmet took 1,200 pounds of force, and it crushed the crushable part of the foam to half its density.
Wow.
And that's a lot.
Yeah.
So and that's, I'd be dead. And that's all there is to it.
I'm pretty sure that like anything over, I think it's either 20 or 25 miles per hour is considered a high-speed collision. So yeah, surviving a 40 mile per hour, like what you're describing, like, yeah, that seems like partially a miracle, partially just having the right gear at the right time.
Yeah, and it was urgent care nurse yelled at us for not taking him to the ER because it was about 40 when he went down.
I mean, I thought about this because I work in healthcare. I'm like, I think you still did the right thing because you're just gonna have a bigger bill going to there. I mean, knowing the end result, I think the thing is like not knowing in the moment. Like if it was a lot worse, then yeah, obviously. But
I wasn't acting like how Rainey was after he fell. He went down, or he was a little delusional and stuff. I didn't black out, nothing. Didn't feel delusional at all. All I knew is that my right arm hurt like hell.
Yeah, I bet it did.
Yeah, you took all your force on your arm and on your face helmet. I took mine pretty much straight to my leg and my head.
Yeah, this is my left chest region on my engine hog jacket. That.
You all right?
Bless you. Yeah, that wore through my wallet was in this pocket. I actually took a little road rash too because that wore all the way through. But
I don't know if any of you guys have seen the video that the MSF does, but they call it the human crayon, where they'll take like different mannequin parts and put them in like a regular nylon shoe. They'll put it in a regular like a garden glove, and they'll run it on asphalt and film it going about 30 miles an hour. And it literally just disintegrates. But they call it the human crayon test. And again, that's just at 30 miles an hour. It's just like when you see these, these car crash videos. Most car crash videos are only done at 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, I think that's the what they're tested at anyway.
Yeah, Volvo is the only one that'll test above that. I think they test at 40.
Yeah, but it may have raised. I don't remember. It's been a while since I looked into it, but yeah.
But yeah, the violence of these accidents you see when they crash cars, that's only 30 miles an hour. So yeah.
But I have nothing on my hand.
Yeah, I know a guy.
Good.
Yeah,
I was gonna say we can get you some new gloves. That's good.
This is the only injury I have on both my hands. A little broken knuckle.
Imagine that without gloves.
Yeah.
And that would be having to wipe your butt.
She doesn't have to. I can still do that myself.
You can now. You can now.
The things you do for the people you love.
Yeah.
You be like that dude on what was it? My 600-pound wife, where he just takes her outside and hoses her off with a hose.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, Shay said it takes more than 1,200 pounds of force just to get her out of bed in the morning. It's good.
I feel like that's most of us most mornings. Let's be honest.
But yeah, it's I'm not going to knock anybody for their freedom, but I think that was enough of a scare for me when I had my first accident to just say that's good for me. I see people, and I'm not one of these cruel people, because I know since Shay Lacey's in the chat, we all remember the hate mail she got when somebody was like, I hope you crash and die and burn in your own blood and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I'm not like that. I just hope, I look at people like that without a helmet and in flip-flops, and I'm like, I hope you don't crash. I hope you don't have to learn these things the way some other people have had to learn them, because it's a violent past. We can joke about it. We joke about it a lot about America and freedom, and like I said, the first law of safety is have fun. No, am I an ATGAT guy? No, but I do protect my head, my feet, and my hands. I cannot riding without gloves feels like I'm riding without pants on. It just feels insane. I can ride in a t-shirt. I can ride in just jeans, but riding without gloves and a helmet, I feel like I'm gonna fall any second. I feel like it's kind of like when you're walking on level ground and you can walk the line on the road, but then you get up on like a 1 foot beam, and you feel like you're gonna fall every second. You haven't changed what you're walking on; it's the same distance, but when you feel like you're unprotected, you just feel so unsafe every second. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, not me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still, you do your thing. I don't care if it's 120 degrees. I'm wearing a jacket. After this,
I've gone to. Now I'll still wear sleeves. Don't get me wrong. I'll still wear sleeves, even like when it's out and it's hot. I will wear these fisherman fly shirts.
Yeah.
And cover my arms. And I am bad about. Well, I'm just gonna run down to the gas store, get some gas. Maybe I won't. But if I'm gonna get on anything that's going more than 45 miles an hour, I'm gonna have sleeves. Because I've caught the worst thing I've ever caught that flew up on me is, not counting this thing I'm fixing to show you, but I caught a frog in the leg one time, and I thought somebody had shot me. I think I've told you guys this story before.
You got caught with the frog?
I'm going home at 2 o'clock in the morning. I used to work at a meat packing plant, a ConAgra plant, actually. And I lived in Arkansas, again, and there's river frogs literally like, the size of a shoe. and something hit me in the leg, and I could tell from the street lights something was wet on my leg. And when I reached down, I looked up and it was blood. And I'm like, holy shit, somebody shot me, you know? And then when I pulled up under another street light, there was a leg like that long stuck to the inside of my leg. And I was like, there's a frog. The frog hit me. But it gave me a bruise like this big around on my leg. It was freaking insane.
Birds hurt too, no matter what size.
Birds hurt, bees hurt. If you're riding under trees on dirt bikes, pecans when they fall hurt you. Things are gonna hurt you, and they hurt you bad. Bees are probably the worst. Somebody had just got a bee in their helmet, but I mean it's insane. But just and I showed these boots when they were brand new. These are the new Crows with the coffee soles. I had them exactly 1 week, and I'm riding in a piece of, I think what it was ladder. Let me get this on here. A piece of ladder flew up and hit me in the foot. It was a piece of steel, and whatever it was just cut the crap out of my shoe.
Better the boot than your foot.
Yeah, and that's what I keep thinking. You know, if this was a tennis shoe, if this was something lighter,
you're just having a bad day.
I'd have lost a toe.
Yeah,
I've been lucky enough. Every time I had a really bad accident, I had plenty of gear on. So, God bless. God bless.
God bless.
God bless.
So I want to ask the hard hitting journalistic questions tonight. Devin, why were you on a Nets bike?
My battery was dead because I had to have it plugged into the tender for a couple weeks. So battery's dead, and she still wanted to go out and ride. So she's like, "Just take my bike."
I got two. You can borrow one. Always breaking my shit, boy.
Wait a minute. So, okay, Seven just said the reason they could reattach my finger is because the glove kept it in place. Seven, you need to get on. You need to get on with us.
Yeah, come on, Sid.
We need to hear that story.
She also just brought up a great story. I'm like, I don't have any like crash stories, but Sid and I did annihilate a bird on our trip. She just brought that up, like, oh, that poor little bird.
I think my bird counts up to like 7 or 8 on a motorcycle. And one of them is a turkey vulture.
Oh.
I remember that one.
That one hit my windshield, thank God. Bent the frame on my windshield, though.
I was still your backpack when you hit that one. That was scary.
That's the biggest bird I've hit, and it's the biggest one I ever want to hit.
That is insane. Well, I'm glad you're still with us, because when I saw that tiger, I saw your little thing, hey, I'm okay, you just crashed her bike, and then I saw the bike, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it bounced and rolled and slid for
I was gonna say, like, but it doesn't, from what I can tell, it doesn't look like that bad, though. Like, the headlight, the bags,
it's still about $4,000 worth of parts.
How much?
The picture's at $4,000.
What I came up with today.
Ooh.
Yeah, the pictures that Devin posted on the Discord weren't the greatest. We went out and took a real good look at it yesterday when I got home from work.
I did a little walk around video, posted a little short about it on our channel. So
I saw it was on the trailer, and you could tell it was more light. How much stuff was.
Yeah, that headlight assembly is $750.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised by that, like, at all.
It's the most expensive part of everything. Like, the bags are the only other thing that goes above it, but
just the bulb for my BMW is $800.
The bulb? Ow!
It's in a
Finest
gyroscope.
of German engineering. That's
it's
why.
In a gyroscope. So you know the cool BMW headlights thing they're always talking about, where when you turn a corner, the headlight actually turns into the corner.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's on a gyroscope. So when you lean the bike, it actually turns into the way you're leaning.
The turn, yeah.
And
I think they need to put that on more bikes, honestly.
Well, too bad it can't melt the ice.
Dude.
Yeah.
I would not have got to it fast enough, I'm telling you.
It's not that bright juice.
Not that bright. It's not a laser juice, it's a freaking headlight.
Now the BMW team, if they're watching, please be watching. Now they're like, how do we invent a light that melts all the ice on the road? So our foolish owners of our bikes don't wreck on the ice in January.
The funny thing is that every BMW I've ever had in the owner's manual has a wind shear versus temperature versus, and it has like these weird charts. So wind chill factor versus speed versus outside temperature, and it tells you how many layers of clothes you have to have on to ride in that temperature. And it goes down to like -20. And then in very funny writing, right underneath it, it says it is not recommended to ride in temperatures under -20 degrees. I'm like, that kind of goes without saying.
Yeah, you got to like change out your oil and like
you would have to go to 0 grade oil. Oh, but it tells you what oil to run in it too. You'd have to run 0 grade oil to ride at -20. That's insane.
I know when some guys that do ride year round, especially where it gets pretty cold, they'll put like 1040 in their Harleys.
Yeah, I did that in Chicago when I was running. Even a Harley's definitely, but even like I had a Magna up there, and you had to run 5W30 in it.
Yeah.
Because it's just there's no
it's not designed for that cold.
520.
Super cold temperatures. So.
It's not going to run. Yeah, even my Harley, when it was 40 outside, wouldn't turn over because when I went to get it, I asked them to put 1040 in it, and they wouldn't.
Yeah.
So when I went to crank it, they would not. Yeah, Harley will not do it for you. You have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Because there's liability in whatever.
Yeah, because that's not what is recommended.
Yeah. The shop has to do what the shop has to do. They're going to cover their own butts, and I totally understand. But it is what it is. Jiffy Lube, they don't care. They'll put water in it if you tell them to. You're synthetic. No, put water in it. All right. Cool.
Just to answer Jerry's question real quick, I can't even ride that right now because I can't even extend this arm or twist my hand or this arm. I can't even twist my hand right now without being in a pretty good amount of pain. So, yeah, that was fun getting X-rays that night. Like, okay, we need you to flip your arm over. About that.
I'm gonna put my whole body because that's easier.
That's what I did. I was like leaning back and everything. Well, he's like, "Don't fall." I'm like, I think I'm okay.
So, how does this all affect your Forgotten Angels plans?
I don't know yet.
Don't know.
Haven't gone to see a doctor yet. Do that first thing Monday morning.
Yeah.
Hey, we're all full for this week, so
yeah, that'll happen.
I think Nothing at Random was saying he had an open seat in his little blue bomber, and he could probably ride with him.
Well,
we were gonna drive anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I was gonna trailer the bikes down, but I may or may not be able to ride. Might be.
I mean, like the timing of it, like if you got like a 6-week restriction, which we don't even know if that's the case or not.
Yeah.
But if you did, like you're like down to the minute.
Yeah. It'll just depend on how the healing goes and whatnot.
I had a 6-week restriction, and there's no way I'm going to stay off that bike more than 6 weeks.
Yeah, you know what? That was a whole other thing I wanted to ask you about. I'm like, how's your what are the transverse processes? Like, how are those doing?
They're sore, but it doesn't sound like someone's stabbing me with a shovel anymore, so I'll take it.
That's always a good thing.
You know why they put the restrictions in place? Obviously, you can do this, but it's so that you don't hurt yourself again if you get it in another circumstance that it would require you to exert your back in that direction again.
You know, they never put it in writing. All they put in writing was, So, okay, but to be serious, though, like we were just saying, just being off the bike for 10 weeks, I forgot how to slow down the bike in wet conditions. If I'm going to be off that bike for 6 weeks and then I have 1 week to get ready for Forgotten Angels to ride 850 miles down there.
Yeah.
So I had to get on the bike early enough where I could know if I can make it down there or not. So
you just got to make sure you take it easy. If you feel like you can do the trip, don't take the bike. It's not worth it.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, there's people that are going to meet me down there. There's some surprise guests that I will tell you guys about later. But if I don't go, they probably won't go. And I know people are looking forward to them being there. So I have to be there.
We're looking forward to you being there. But I just want you to not mess up your back in the meantime.
If I have to, I'll drive. But
yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Like, don't take the bike, take the car.
That will literally take half the fun away, though.
But I mean, it is what it is.
I've been really giving some thought to the idea of just like, man, if I didn't even bring the Grom, it is literally cheaper for me to just fly, and maybe even with like maybe renting a bike, it'd still be like the same, and I could spend more time.
Might do that
like
next
there,
Take it from me.
Just traveling, yeah.
It's exactly the same. I've sat there and I've done out the math and all that, and it's actually the same, if not actually sometimes cheaper to fly if you can get a good deal on the airline tickets.
Yeah.
And you don't like completely blow the budget on the bike rental.
That's the biggest thing with that is getting decent.
They had a Sportster with bags for $70 a day. So I don't know. There's a lot cheaper up here. I'll say that they're a lot cheaper to rent a bike from Riders Share up here in Twisted Roads than it is down in Tampa. Obviously, because people go to Tampa for vacation and people are gonna buy them, so they can charge whatever they want to. And there's like 120 of them on Riders Share right now for that weekend. Up here, you might have 5, and they're like, hey, please come take our bikes, So I can read your palm.
Oh, there's a Sid.
Hi, Sid. Nice to have you on. It's been a while. It's been a spell. Are they working you to death?
A little bit.
Whose ass you got to kick? I was glad to have you on. So let's tell us about this finger.
Yeah, when did you potentially almost? I feel like you may have mentioned the story, but like you mentioned the story about almost losing a finger and like the glove held it together. And now
I want to say at one time when I was drunk or something, you showed me your finger. But I was so drunk, I was like, "That's cool," and I tried to pick my nose with your finger or something. I can't remember, but it was But I barely can remember this. So tell us your story.
Yeah, it was it was 2018 October, and it was one of my first like solo long distance rides. It was only about like 4 or 5 hours, and I was in Massachusetts. Someone ended up cutting me off, and I gave them enough room to get away from them, but I ended up hitting an oil slick, which caused me to fishtail, and I hit the barrier about 3 times with my side. And in the course of hitting the barrier and my side, my finger decided to make friends with the handlebars and the tank and the guardrail. So, yeah.
A little bit of scissor action, not in a good way.
Gotta watch out for those mass holes, man. They'll get you.
Yeah. No, they really do, yeah. And so I didn't realize what happened at first, like with my hand. I got off the bike. There was someone who actually stopped traffic. I was on the highway. They stopped traffic and they came over, and I could barely put my kickstand down, but I was so scared to lean it because I couldn't feel my side. And they said, "Oh, I'm a rider. I'm just not riding today. Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I didn't drop the bike at this point, but they were like, "All right, I'll make sure it gets on the kickstand. It's not gonna fall in the dirt or whatever." So
priorities.
I trusted her. I got off the bike and I kind of crawled. I crawled in the dirt, and then yeah, I felt a pain in my hand. There was blood coming from my glove because it was a mesh glove. And I tried to pull the glove off, and I felt like a tug, and it was just barely hanging on by like a tendon.
Hang on while I go.
Man, I just ate dinner.
Damn, girl. I haven't eaten dinner yet. I thought it was the pinky. I thought you showed me that one time, but I was like, late at night out at the camp out, and we were having way too much fun.
Little finger,
Got it. Little fingering.
But yeah, that's my story.
That's the brown finger.
Well, you stick to it. That's an interesting story.
Yeah.
God, well, glad you're okay. So, Juice, you've had dirt bike accidents.
Yeah, I'm like, I was telling you before we get started, I'm like, I don't even like in dirt biking, I don't know that I've had anything that was like super. I've only had torn jerseys. That just kind of happens like when you're in the woods, but I don't, knock on wood, have anything like serious that has happened to me. And that's why like y'all are falling apart here all across this country, going down. We can't be starting this trend. I'm like, my bike's in the shop. It's gonna get fixed. I'm gonna be back on the road here soon. We have to put the good vibes back in the world.
Yes.
No more of this going down. Just the quick succession here. Like,
I didn't go down, but I'm missing half of probably a quarter of my patella on my right leg.
Ouch.
Because in Texas, if I ever told you guys about this Honda 454 that my stepbrother and me had, was taking it up a dirt driveway and slid sideways and hit the gate post with my knee. wearing cutoff shorts, tennis shoes, no shirt, and patrolman sunglasses, and smashed my kneecap. And nothing they could really do for it but take out the part that he cracked off and say, go home.
I'm actually thinking sorry, but not to change the topic, but you just said the 454. It made me remember, like, I am giving a thought to taking the Grom in my Key Z 440. I don't even know if any of you really seen my 440. It runs. I am just too chicken shit to go ride it up here because I think it's got a wonky little electrical issue that I know need to replace a section of wiring, and I think it's going to be good. But I think that'd be a good little beat bop around the campground bike with the Grom. And it's a 6-speed, a 440 6-speed. Like, I could actually do a highway even if we had to. Maybe.
Yeah, Florida's an open law state. No headlights.
Oh no, this bike is like actually complete. It's 100% like, other than this particular wiring issue, like, it is a good looking bike. Believe it or not, my garage is not just full of completely broken down pieces of shit.
You got snowmobiles.
Yeah, I've got one of those here. No fucking snow, by the way, in the last, like, we're going on probably 3 weeks at this point. Yeah. Big bummer there.
See, that's not a problem around that.
Well, it was a problem for you. That's why we have a whole fucking story now.
See, they don't plow here. Here in this part of the country, when it snows, it's like it snows 1 week a year. And instead of trying to get out and beat the snow and salt the roads and stuff, they're like, fuck it, everybody stay home.
Yeah.
And you just stay home for a week. And literally, just like that Monday, I went to work that Monday, and there was ice. By the time I got home, changed clothes, and went to the ER, it was 60 degrees. And the snow's over. So they don't really buy, like when I lived in Chicago, they had, as soon as the first, flake of snow hit the ground, they had 70 trucks out.
Yeah.
Because it's going to snow for 6 months straight, so they can afford to buy that kind of equipment. But not here. You got somebody's old Ford that somebody pays them at the end after it stops snowing to go push the snow up in one corner of the parking lot, and that's all there is.
Yeah, the weather's so warm up here. Even all the snow that got pushed up into a bank for, like, when we had 1.5 feet of snow, even that snow has melted. Like, our winter up here is messed up completely.
Yeah, we're supposed to have the big Meredith Rotary Ice Fishing Derby tomorrow, and it's going to be friggin' 50.
You gotta bring your boat.
I would not get on
that. Like I said, you can't go on the big lakes. There's no ice on them, and whatever ice is going to be on the small lakes probably going to be pretty sketchy. And what also concerns me is because nobody will be on the big lakes. If anyone goes out, it's going to be crowded, and that'll just exacerbate problems. Yeah. So I'm not doing it this year. I don't have the patience to try to ice fish in slush, so I'm just not gonna. But I do worry. And then it's going to snow on Tuesday because fuck us. So.
Yeah, it's supposed to get cold again next week, but it won't get to freezing and there'll be no snow. For a while there, they had everybody scared, saying they were going to have another snowmageddon come at the end of February. Then they changed their mind. They're like, oh, never mind.
Not yet.
Yeah. When it comes to snow forecasts, one thing I've kind of observed over the past several years is you gotta like read between the lines when it comes to the Weather Channel, because they have gone absolutely hog wild with the drama and with the hyping it up, and like really, like they're as bad as the regular news now when it comes to like how they do stuff.
I saw one on the internet the other day that I think it was for like Univision or something, and the dude had a bottle of water. He didn't know they were live. He didn't know they were already casting. He had a bottle of water, was pouring it on his chest and like rubbing it into his shirt, poured it on his face, and he's like, oh, it's really pouring out here. Oh. Or like the one where the woman was kneeling and she was like up to her waist in water, and this dude comes walking by her and he's like, it's like a little bit over his ankle.
Yeah. I've seen, there's a bunch of stuff like that. There's one, I remember the guy was like leaning into the storm to make the wind look as bad as possible. Oh, it's so bad out here. And then like somebody just went like walking by behind them. Just casually, like it.
And on the flip side of that, you got the ones down in Louisiana and Florida where the one woman was talking and giving the cast, and a stop sign flew through the air and hit her in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, bad.
Yeah.
I'll give credit to that one. They actually at least try and earn their pay. So
I remember when Rita came through my town, Lake Charles, the water got so high that the nutria rats were coming out of their burrows, and so they were swimming across the road. And if you've never seen a nutria rat, it's about the size of a German Shepherd, but it looks like a giant rat. Mm-hmm. And that newscaster was freaking out because it looked like a giant rat. He's like, "Oh my God, what is that damn thing?" But it's we have weird animals down in Louisiana. It happens.
You know, you're weird people. It helps.
Oh, speaking of weird Louisiana people, tomorrow there's a gumbo cook-off at Southern Thunder Harley Davidson. So I have a pot of gumbo in there that I have not been able to touch yet, and my wife and her best friend are in there right now eating my gumbo. So we may have to cut this off.
I hate when that happens.
No, I made a huge pot, and if you guys can visit me, I will make you gumbo. But yeah, I'm gonna bring it up tomorrow and try to win the gumbo cook-off at Southern Thunder Harley Davidson. Wish me luck.
Nice.
I'll trade you for some of the Northwoods goulash if you want it.
Yeah, dude, I love cooking, and I love having people cook for me and going to somebody's house. Because so when I go to Annette's, and that's gonna cook me biscuits and gravy, I think it's only fair that I either cook you a apple baby or a hash brown casserole.
So. I mean, those both sound good, and you could do both, and I can do those cinnamon rolls that I shared the other day.
Oh yeah, weirdest looking biscuits and gravy in the world. No, they did look good. They looked really good. No, you're on. You're on. I'll be there a couple days. We'll cook one day and one the next. So
yeah,
biscuits and gravy, the hash brown casserole will probably go really good with biscuits and gravy. And then when you make the cinnamon rolls, I'll make the apple baby. Gotta have cast iron though.
Well, we got it.
We've got cast iron.
Okay. Do you have a glass roasting dish?
I believe so.
Like an 8 by 12 maybe, or maybe a 2-liter dish. I will bring one. I'll strap it to the back of the Harley. I'll drive it up. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? A giant glass dish strapped to the back of a Sportster.
Yeah. I don't see a problem with that if you don't.
No problem.
Just like stuff your clothes around it so it's got a little cushioning. It's fine.
Oh, good idea. I'll put it up on the tank. It'll be fine.
This is fine. Everything is fine.
It's fine. It's just fine. No, I really am going to build. So on the sissy bar, I'm going to put a little holder where I can take a flat cast iron skillet and slide it into it. And I'll make it decorative where it'll look like Yankee's little symbol he's got on the back of his sissy bar. But I'm going to make it where I can, like a bear, like one of these little lodge cookware. Have you ever seen the lodges that you have like forest scenes on it, like deer that have mountains on them, or a big bear or something? I'm going to get one like that where it'll be actually kind of decorative.
There you go.
And then you could use it to knock off windows if somebody cuts you off. Just kidding, kind of. So Yankee, you had any good wrecks? Any good gear protection stories?
Also, knock on wood, but I have never wrecked. So the closest I've
said it out loud.
Yeah,
sorry, man.
but yeah, I know it's your fault. So yeah, when I do wreck now, which will happen imminently, it is all your fault, and I'll have to kill you. But before that happens, thank you. Yes, carrot cake is my favorite.
Get those up.
Okay.
Those are rookie numbers. You're gonna have to get those up.
I do recall when I was a kid, I did have one of those little 70cc Honda dirt bikes, the one that had like the automatic clutch in it. And I didn't, it's a dirt bike. Do you even really, I suppose if you listen to Shay Lacey, you actually can wreck on one of those. But, for the most part, you just kind of, it's like riding a bicycle. You just sort of wipe out more than you wreck. And I wiped out a few times. I do remember I had it for couple of weeks, and then I was riding down the driveway, and I don't even remember exactly what I did. Hit a patch of bad sand or something, and I kind of, as it started to go down, I sort of jumped off of it, and I sent the dirt bike kind of skidding down the road a little bit, and my uncle, who had helped get it for me, was there, and I was all sad and apologetic. I was like, "Oh my God, sorry, I scratched up the bike," and he's looking at me like I'm an idiot, and he's like, "I would much rather you jump off the bike and not get hurt and throw the bike into the swamp. Besides, it's a dirt bike. It's made to do that. Don't worry about it. Stop apologizing." So yeah, I do believe in. I kind of believe in wearing gear. I'm the bad person here because I do wear a half helmet, although I'm not opposed to upgrading to a full face. I just gotta find one that I like. So
it's better than nothing.
Yeah. No, but I do appreciate the concept, and it is, and it is correct. Riding is risky, but there are things we can do to mitigate the risk, and one of the smartest things you can do is wear gear. It's not going to save you. Well, you know what, as Fish and Game says about people wearing life vests around here, it's not going to save you in every single instance, but it's not going to help you if you don't have it.
So. I remember when Texas made this seatbelt law mandatory. There were people that were saying, well, this guy wrecked one time and he was going 100 miles an hour and the seatbelt cut him in half. And I'm like, you've got bigger problems than that.
Yeah.
I don't
one of my favorite Shade Tree quotes from one of the earlier days is because I guess he would have people giving him shit for even wearing like a modular as opposed to a regular full face. And the way that he said it was like, yeah, I got people saying like, oh, well, if you go into a guardrail at 80 miles an hour wearing your modular, you're gonna fucking die. And his response was, yeah, no shit, so everybody else.
It would probably cut my head off.
Yeah. I'm not sure if like some of these people that make comments, especially about guardrails. Have you ever actually been around a guardrail? Because they are not the smoothest things in the world.
No, they're actually pretty dangerous.
Yeah, guardrails are razor blade. You hit a guardrail at 80 miles an hour, it's going to slice you in half. You might as well have just ran across a Ginzu. They are not kind in no way.
Yes.
They're made to stop cars, not people, so they're not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's made to keep a car from careening into where it shouldn't be. And I may eat some extra Little Debbie's oatmeal cream pies occasionally, but I can weigh as much as a car. So.
It's not going to protect you.
Little Debbie's hunting team
altogether.
Absolutely, goddamn right. I need that mug.
Yeah, there is a point. So how the D&D players call it, there is a point of diminishing returns. You can be so safe that you start making yourself unsafe. And I'm talking about heat or rain. I've been down to Texas where I've left home. It was 65 degrees. Start getting down toward Texas. It's 120. I'm not going to keep my big Storm 3 jacket on with a liner inside it, with my pants and my thermal liner in it. And it gets up to 120. I'm probably going to get down to either a mesh jacket or a flannel shirt or a fisherman's t-shirt, like I was saying before. You have to keep yourself safe, because if it's 120 degrees, you're wearing all that gear, you're probably going to get dehydrated and pass out and crash into a guardrail because there's a point you're just not safe anymore with all the extra gear. So you have to find a balance. You have to find, well, like Yankee was saying, you have to control your danger line, whatever that may be. But just getting on the bike is dangerous. So how do we mitigate that danger? You take whatever steps is necessary to cover the danger you're going to be in. So, and that's a personal choice. I can't tell you what's right for you. If it's right for you to wear a half helmet and to wear just, half leather shoes, okay, that's you. Good on you. You at least you're wearing something. If you'd rather wear jeans than wear armored pants, I can't make that choice for you, because I don't know what's going through your head to make you make that choice. If you make the choice because America and freedom, okay, I'm not going to make that choice, but now I'm not going to look down on you for making that choice, but I will think that's not as safe as you could possibly be. You could probably be doing better.
Yeah. I will say, if you're going to wear jeans, choose Duluth, because these basic jeans took
what's that said?
40 mile an hour asphalt like a champ.
Yeah, show the hole.
Yeah, like that is the only rippage on both sides.
I've got jeans like that in my closet right now. I wear them.
Yeah,
fire hose pants are on sale right now.
For like this.
I'm gonna have to go get some fire hose pants just because Sid has
She is.
These aren't even fire hose. These are just their regular jeans.
Guys, I don't know if you know, but they're on sale right now. Fire hose is $50 on Duluth Trading Company website.
Go get me a pair tomorrow. I like their stuff.
Although your fire hose shrank, so maybe get a size up. So
yeah, get a size or two.
Did she tell you your fire hose shrank?
That's what I heard.
No, the fire hose material.
Hey,
God.
Hey, it's weird. What do you want?
Hey, listen.
Hey, these marriage problems. I don't want to hear them. Keep those under the sheets.
Okay, the Duluth fire hose shorts I had at one point in time, they shrunk really badly. Even
fire hose shrunk.
Happens to the best of us, buddy. It's okay.
It's still winter. Come on, it's forgiven.
Are you okay over there?
No, I'm not okay.
So,
But yeah, they're doing sales, so go check them out, especially their fire hose stuff. But size up because it shrinks in the wash. Oh my gosh.
Shrinkage.
Shrinks
You
in
gotta
cold
watch out for the
Shrinkage
shrinkage.
happens.
No, in all seriousness, no, that's 100% correct. I had a pair of like olive green fire hose pants that I absolutely loved. Wore them like 2-3 times before I put them in the wash, and then the rest of the pants didn't shrink up, but the waist shrank up so much that it was just like ridiculously uncomfortable to wear from that point on, and I never wore them again. It sucked because I thought they were cool.
and I was actually talking to somebody on the 5 Dirty Bikers Discord. He's gone down in the fire hose stuff, and he's like, they didn't even rip.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're a direct replacement for like riding jeans, but
cool.
yeah, they're definitely not a replacement for regular riding jeans. But if you don't want to wear riding jeans because they're too hot or whatever, even though the fire hose, I'm pretty sure does get pretty warm still.
So
So go ahead, Sid.
it actually, I always take the fire hose down on every single one of my rides. Like, I do have the Kevlar pants, however, the fire hose, when I get to Florida, that's the only thing I wear on the rides.
Okay. Yeah, I've worn the fire hose pants, so I can't say how warm they get, but you can imagine
They can be breezy.
Kevlar.
They breathe.
Well, the Ironworker pants that I was trying to get Juice to get because they're loose. They're loose like juice.
They're
I
comfy.
can wear them on the bike. They're very comfy. Now, when you get off, it's a little bit more warmer than jeans. And so when I first get there, I'm fine. But as I walk around, it's like, it's getting a little bit warm. And that's usually when I change. But they're fine. As long as you're riding and you got a breeze on you, they're fine. Even in 80-degree weather.
Yeah.
I just have 2 pairs of those Ironworkers.
I love those. They're so comfortable.
I see myself having a real my balls was hot moment with them with jeans like that. So maybe not for me.
That's what the
No,
zipper
they're
shorts.
loose. No, hey,
Sweaty balls.
If your balls are getting hot, you put your legs out, start catching the wind blowing up them, you'll be fine.
Yeah, you gotta get those high highway
Natural
pants.
ventilation. Get some shrinkage.
My poor mom is just listening to this. She's
This is very practical stuff.
Yeah.
This is very practical stuff. So I was giving a EMR lecture at work the other day, and I was talking about, it's like, let's be real. Let's talk about things that people have. And one of the things I talked about was embarrassing to some people, medications people are on. And I had a guy at the steel mill who his eyes were dilated, and I couldn't get any reaction out of his pupils. I thought he had a concussion. I kept asking him if he had taken medication. He kept saying no. The paramedics got there, and I told him, I said, I think he's got a concussion because I don't have any reaction out of his pupils. The paramedic looked at him and looked back at me and looked at him and goes, "Are you taking Viagra?" And the guy goes, "Not to worry. Don't worry about it. I know what this is." So yeah, sometimes when you're talking about real life things, you got to talk about things that are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it's just life. Sorry, Mom, it's just life. We're just talking about biker life with a Y.
Yeah.
We're just trying to stay safe on motorcycles. There's a wholesome point here.
Yeah,
If your
that's
balls
what I do.
get hot on a motorcycle, you'll have reverse shrinkage and they end up under your leg, and that is unsafe. No hot balls.
Not to mention the rash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta pop Viagra and then crank hog. I mean, those things go naturally. I mean, like that's what you want to do. That sounds like a
Hell yeah, Bubber.
Crank hog down brew.
Speaking of having a good time, I can't confirm whether or not this is a good beer, but not a sponsored segment. But I found a brand called Garage Beers. Oh no, this is gonna do the thing. There we go.
There it goes.
I don't know. I might have a new winner chicken dinner.
Is that the same company that makes Not Your Dad's beer? Because the script looks kind of familiar.
I don't know. Maybe.
Sharing is caring.
I've got a whole case of them here. So if you want to come have a garage beer, I just thought this is like, I love that branding. I'm like that fits. I like that garage beers.
I'm gonna try to figure out a way to get some Ghost River. Ghost River is our local beer, and it's the best beer we have here. I'm gonna try to figure out a way to get either Ghost River or 312 down to the camp out without it blowing up from heat on the way down, strapped to a bike. We'll see. So everybody bring your local beer to the camp out, and we'll trade out.
Okay.
Flying. Don't know how that's gonna work.
Or just bring whiskey.
Check it.
Ship it.
Ship
Check it.
You're just bringing whiskey, unless it's really local. I mean, yeah, you can get whiskey down there.
Most of the whiskey I drink is from Kentucky, so I think I might be able to just also find it there. So.
Well, you guys have been here. There's a lot of local distilleries here because not 2 hours from here is the Whiskey Trail. So what I still though want to get to after we're all rich and we make money off YouTube, we're gonna ride down to the Bayou vodka place down towards Mater down by New Orleans. There's a Bayou brand vodka, and it's flavored. It's flavored vodkas. So we will have to go see that, and it'd be awesome.
Down in the bayou, you gotta.
There's a distillery over in Maine that makes potato vodka. It's actually really good stuff.
My favorite type of vodka is potato vodka.
Yeah. Cold River, really good.
The one thing the Russians really got right was vodka, to the surprise of nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't do well with wheat.
No. Good old-fashioned potato vodka. All right.
There we were.
Yeah. Sid, any new fun news for the group that you want to share or no?
Not yet. Not yet.
Later, T-Bone.
Although I will say that I just came into a bunch of PTO, so paid time off. And that's all I'll say about that.
Okay.
Oh, come visit me, huh?
Okay, Forrest.
I have Boudin. Come visit me. I'll make you some gumbo.
Yeah, that's always nice to have.
All right, guys. We've ran the course dry today with our boo-boos and our fire hose pants. So we actually had a good one tonight. We didn't get as many. Nothing around didn't get to show up because he was kidnapped tonight by his girlfriend. But maybe next time.
Yep.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
All right, so let's go through closing thoughts. Juice.
I was like, all right, I guess that's me. I'm gonna quick answer a question in the chat from Bleak Ride as part of my closing thoughts, because he asked who all's gonna be at FA. This guy, assuming that when I get my bike back from the dealership, which we didn't even talk about, but
we have time. We have time. I just didn't
my
know
closing thoughts are going to be really long then. But
let's tell us about
that.
That's fine.
No. First and foremost, once I get my bike back, I'm riding that sucker, and I'm not going to be like you, and this other guy. We're not going to lay her down in the gravel.
Well, we did talk about being off the bike. You lose skills.
I've not ridden.
We're gonna be on Team No Rigs.
Take it slow.
We're gonna make T-shirts. Sid and I talked about it yesterday.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm designing it now. Hold on.
But so I'll be at FA, God willing, and I know a bunch of you will be. So I want you all to get there safely. And without crashing, preferably. I mean, if you have to crash, I guess that's out of your control sometimes. But my preference is that we go crash-free from here on out, rest of 2024 and beyond.
Yeah.
I can be okay with that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, my Harley Davidson is finally in the shop because I'm a cheap, broke, procrastinating sumbitch and waiting for the weather to get good to finally take it to a dealership. And now it's I did my taxes today, and I know exactly where all that money's going. That's my piece.
Good to know.
Yeah, I think I know where my tax money is going this time around.
So R18, huh?
I wish so bad.
Yeah.
All right, AZ, DZ, in whatever order you want to.
All right, DZ, you're up. Go.
All right. Everybody, you do you. We will be at FA. I
As long as you don't get a doctor's appointment that weekend.
I will try. I'm gonna do everything I can not to schedule that.
Yeah.
Do before or after, but not. Yeah. So yeah. Depending on how things go, I may or not. I will be there, whether I can ride or not. We'll see. If not, oh well. Still be there to be able to hang out with everybody and meet a few people that I know we haven't met yet because they just haven't been able to make to the couple Forgotten Angels campouts we've gone to. But yeah, I mean, you do you when it comes to gear. If you want to wear full face, wear it. Want to wear nothing, do it. I'm going to be wearing a lot more gear, or making sure I wear my gear all the time for the most part now. So jeans are probably going to be the only thing I slack on a little bit still, but I don't know. I will be wearing a jacket and whatnot. I don't care how warm it is. I will deal with it safely, which is the most important thing.
As you should.
Yeah.
Annette.
I agree with the you do you, although I do highly encourage gear because I did just watch my husband almost die right in front of me, and the gear is the only thing that kept his ass here. So you do you, but I will encourage gear. So, and don't cheap out on it either, because cheap gear ain't good.
Mm-hmm.
The Mad Yankee.
I mean, the whole point of the conversation is live to fight another day. You know, that's the thing. And as far as gear goes, obviously, you know, you can decide what you're comfortable with. Only you can decide what level you want to go to. But you know, within reasons, yes, you need to regulate body temperature. Yes, you need to make sure all that's okay. But wearing gear, getting extra protection, it's never a bad idea. You know, aside from those kinds of crazy circumstances. That's really all I got to say on it. Just go fast, but don't die.
All right, Sid.
Yeah, my moral is cover what you care about. But yeah, I mean, just wear what you want at your discretion. Obviously know that your actions do have consequences, not only for you, but possibly for other people or people in your life. So don't think that, you know, not wearing a helmet is just a you decision, but the repercussions of you getting hurt will affect pretty much everyone who cares about you as well. But do what you want to do, take the risks you want to take, and live the life you want to live.
I got it. That reminds me of the commercials. The commercial for drunk driving, but it's a dog sitting by a door, and the caption is, he'll never be able to understand why you didn't come home. So you can say it's your kids, your dog, your cat, whatever, but somebody's waiting for you to come home. So
that's right.
Make smart decisions.
I'll admit, don't let your from urgent care. I just immediately hugged Blue. I was like, I'm so glad we were able to come home to you tonight.
Yeah, don't let your dog think that you abandoned him.
It's, you know, take the risk you want to take, but understand the actual magnitude of that risk. Really appreciate what is really at stake. It's not actually just you. We like to tell ourselves that sometimes because it makes certain things easier to justify, but it's pretty much never true.
Yeah, this is a topic I was avoiding because I wasn't sure if we were going to touch it, but like there was somebody fairly popular YouTube channel I saw recently post something about this very thing about not wearing a helmet. It's like, it's my choice and it doesn't affect you all. And like, that's all well and good until there's somebody with a name is scraping you up off the fucking pavement. So it matters. It's not just a you decision at the end of the day. Yeah, sure, 99% of the time, if you don't crash, great, but that 1% is going to really fuck up somebody else's life. So
I know I would rather crash and be able to tell my own story about the crash than have someone talk about the crash at my funeral. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd rather have a funny story to tell than a eulogy any day. And just, I mean, again, it's your personal choice. I'm not going to knock you for it, but when I first started riding it, even up until probably 5 years ago, if you went to test drive a motorcycle, you had to have on long sleeves, leather shoes, long pants, helmet, and gloves. They would not let you leave without I mean, this was even in non-helmet states. You had to wear the gear because they're liable for you once you get on that motorcycle, and they get sued. And even if you lay the bike down, they would rather pay for your scratched up gear if it than pay for your funeral. And even like MSF courses still make you wear closed-toed shoes, long sleeves, gloves, helmet, because you're definitely going to drop it in an MSF course.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when there's a no bullshit factor. You're going to drop that bike, and if you wanted to pay, some of these classes are $400. You pay $400 for that class, and you drop the bike on the very first morning of the day, and you've only got 4 hours of instruction. You just paid for a whole class because you were dumb enough to not wear the right gear. Unforgivable. Whereas if you had the gear on, you could pick the bike up, laugh about it, and finish your class.
They don't, at least when the course I did, they don't let you drop the bike in. I mean, obviously, if you drop it, like, you're immediately out. That's the newer wave of things.
Huh,
that's kind of unfair because who's not?
I thought it was unfair too, but I don't think anyone by class dropped.
I think that depends on.
That's kind of harsh.
I think that does because when I was in my class, I went down. That's the only crash I've ever had, and I still have the scar on my elbow from it. But they were like, you've shown you have the skill and you know exactly what you did wrong. You can keep doing the class if you want. And I was like, yeah, I'm staying. So.
I've seen people in the advanced rider classes drop their bikes because you're going to do it.
It's your own bike.
They're asking you to do, but I mean, even the Harley bike, I always show up at the Harley Davidson dealer, has the giant orange crash bars on it because they expect you to drop that bike. Mm-hmm. That's why it's got those orange crash bars on it.
Yeah, I didn't do mine through Harley, so they didn't have any crash protection on those bikes. Those are just those TU 250s. They don't put freaking what do they call it? Rear view mirrors, side view mirrors. What do you call them?
Yeah.
They don't even bother with them. They know.
All gone. Yeah.
So maybe it was all talk. Nobody dropped theirs, but they said like, yeah, if you drop, you're out. I'm like,
that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy because you're gonna. I mean, who not their first time on a motorcycle, and that's most people that ride to do the MSF course. That's their first time on a motorcycle. That seems exceedingly unfair.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
I mean, I can see being kicked out if like you're not listening to instructions and you drop repeatedly, but like if you're following directions and you just make one simple mistake, I don't feel like you should be kicked out, especially if you know what you did.
Yeah, I've even had my first basic course I took in 1990. The next basic course I had to take because I ran out of courses, and then in the Navy you got to take it every 3 years. I took another basic course in 2005, and they said, do what we're telling you to do. If you go to drop the bike, power out of it, stand the bike up. If you drop it, pick it back up. Because they're telling you things. It's like the worst thing that can happen is you drop the bike, and if you drop it, pick it back up. They know you're going to drop the bike. So it just seems so weird. Anyway, Bleak's asking, are we going to have another one of these? Yes, we are. We're sure. We've got, 4 more weeks till the next...
we got to have Billy back on.
So Bleak, you want to come on? Absolutely, man. Hit me up. Make sure you get the link. I'm not sure who will. Obviously, no matter who has to host it, we're gonna host it because I love having these. These are great. I like keeping them short like this, where we just keep it going, and once it dies, we just quit. So, if you guys just got on, sorry we've dried up tonight because it's been a long week. It's been crazy. Weather's been crazy and stuff. So we're all drained. 2 of us are recovering from wrecks still, and then Annette's poor heart is still recovering. So.
I gotta get up and go to work in the morning. Yeah. Some kind of bullshit.
Yeah. So in other words, we're kind of cutting it off early. So with that, my closing thought is, as always, be kind. I told somebody today, everybody you meet is going through their own different ordeal, and you could be the nicest thing that happens to someone the whole day. So why not make it a positive interaction? Smile at everybody you see, say hi. If they don't say hi, what have you lost? Nothing. Keep walking. Don't take it personally. So everybody, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave. And down in the comments, tell us about your wreck story. And with that, let's fire up my good friend who writes music.
Take some on Let's Play.
All right, guys. I will see you guys later. Everybody dance.